Welcome back to North Central Weather Center. My name is Hunter, and in today's weather forecast, we're going to be talking about a significant snowstorm and potentially a significant severe weather maker as we go in towards late March, as well as another major cool down across the North Central states. We'll dive into that in today's video. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 500 subscribers, and also be sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know. So let's get into the weather forecast here for today, March 18th, and you can see waking up this morning, temperatures are very cold and a shock to the system it is as you step out the door here across the majority of the north central states. To the north, we're into the teens. To the south here in our southern viewing area, temperatures are into the lower and middle 20s. And looking at those winds as we go through the morning, blowing with gusto from the north and west up over 20 miles per hour here, especially across the Midwest and into the Great Lakes region, and that is causing our wind chill values to drop to the single digits above zero, even the middle teens as far south as the Ozarks region in Missouri and the Central Plains states as we go in towards Nebraska and Kansas as well. And looking at the afternoon, we're still going to remain quite chilly. A lot of us up here into the upper Midwest, say into Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, getting into Indiana, and over here into Michigan will likely only be into the 30s, topping out this afternoon for high temperatures. Looking at precipitation through today, very quiet with a high pressure system centered across portions of the north central states that will keep us high and dry as we go into this afternoon, and this evening remaining very dry as well, so nothing to worry about through much of the viewing area as we go through today. Now going into Tuesday, tomorrow is the first day of spring on the 19th. We're going to go through the Friday the 22nd time frame and break this down for you. Looking at our high temperatures as we go into the first official day of spring equinox, and notice it will feel a little bit more like spring compared to today as we go into Tuesday. More of those middle and lower 60s here, especially out here into the Plain states. Maybe some of that getting into the Missouri region and southern Iowa on Tuesday. Another strong cold front moves through the north as we go into Wednesday, knocking down those temperatures again. As we go into Thursday, we still feel the effects of that. And even Friday, we see colder weather to the north and warmer weather into our southern viewing area, especially with those 50s and 60s out there across Kansas, Missouri, into southern Illinois and southern Indiana. Let's look at our precipitation from that Tuesday, March 19th time frame through Friday, March 22nd. Very dry again, much like today. We're going to have a very dry day again on Tuesday. Same thing on Wednesday, although it looks like a little weak clipper system could drop through portions of the Great Lakes and up here into portions of western Dakotas during that time frame. More of that will be spreading in toward portions of the Dakotas, western Minnesota as we go into Thursday. That'll be wintry precipitation to the north with the colder air. Further south, if we have any precipitation across Kansas, Nebraska, or Missouri down toward the Ozarks region again, that will mainly be light, but also in the form of liquid precipitation, the rainfall with those warmer temperatures on Thursday. And again, that pattern will continue with multiple clipper systems traversing the north with snow and across the south with some rain as we go even into Friday. Looking at our snowfall prospects, not really looking at any significant snow accumulations, although we could have 1 to 2 inches of snow across the Dakotas into Minnesota there, into Wisconsin, northern Iowa, northern Illinois, and then over here into Michigan, including the UP of Michigan, could be seeing a little bit of that lake effect snow up here into the Lake Superior region as we go into that through that Saturday, March 23rd timeframe. And most of this here is going to be on grassy surfaces, that is for sure. And any rainfall amounts we see will be few and far between and very light as well. Down into Kansas here in Missouri in our southern viewing area, mainly only seeing a few hundredths to a tenth of an inch of rain going through that Saturday, March 23rd timeframe. Now let's move into the weekend because a more significant storm system is on track as we go from Saturday, March 23rd through early next week on Tuesday, March 26th here. Let's break this down. So as we go into the weekend, a positively tilted trough will be moving in toward California, the Sacramento Valley, and that will shift east. A very big bowling ball trough here, neutrally tilted as we go into early next week. And notice here across portions of our viewing area, we're going to be in towards the bowl of this trough, which means colder air will be moving down to the south from Canada into our viewing areas. First up here this weekend on the 23rd, 24th time frame, Saturday and Sunday across the north. Temperature anomalies there will be 10 to as much as 20 degrees below normal. Our southern viewing area 5 to 15 degrees above normal. Looking here as we go into early next week, quite the temperature gradient. Looking to set up with our eastern areas well above normal and our central and western areas well below normal, especially up there into the western Dakotas. Could be pushing 30 degrees below normal with our temperatures early next week, Monday, March 25th into Tuesday, March 26th. And when you see a temperature gradient like this, that does signify a more mature and significant and even dynamic storm system. So let's look at three separate operational computer forecast models. So this is your European model, the ECMWF, for the weekend, showing that rain snow line hanging up there toward the upper Midwest. Heavier snows from the Dakotas into Minnesota and Wisconsin. A little bit of an ice threat there in between, and then rainfall further south. And then as we go into early next week on the European model, a more mature system could bring some heavier rain, some severe weather to our eastern viewing area in toward the Midwest here, the Illinois Valley and Missouri down toward the Ozarks. And then an ice storm threat here to the portions of our eastern areas as well. Northern Wisconsin down through central Iowa with snowfall trailing behind that as the colder air rushes in. Compare that to the GFS model, the American model here. A little bit colder, a little bit faster of a solution here. So it brings more snow further south. The rain snow line about a state further south here as we go into the weekend. The rainfall a bit further south as well as that colder air comes in. Early next week, you can see more progressive system, not as amplified, so we can see less of a severe weather threat with the GFS model and more cold air coming in here as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then looking at the GEM model, the Canadian model here, kind of in the same boat as the GFS, the American model, showing more of that colder air moving further south, a lot faster of a system here. You can see it has more of that snowfall line setting up about a state south from the first model we showed. And then you can see that mainly turning more to a heavy rainfall, slushy event for Iowa, and then some heavier rain and snow on the backside here, and just a mess as we go into early next week. Which weather model will be right? We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep you covered here. We're not going to throw out any snowfall or ice accumulation forecast for the weekend or early next week right now. It is just too premature to do that, and a lot of inaccuracy here as well, because they're not in agreement with the track, the intensity of the storm, nor the overall amounts of the storm as well, because of those two things. Now, as we go to the end of March here, Wednesday, March 27th through the rest of the month through Sunday, March 31st, what is likely is behind this storm system, whatever we see, temperatures are going to take another tumble here. After this mature storm system moves through, we could be seeing temperatures, especially in our northern areas into the Dakotas, northern Nebraska, Minnesota, and northwest Iowa, 10 to as much as 15 degrees below normal with our temperatures to round out the month, and still an active pattern as well. You can still see the average during that time frame of precipitation averaging a few hundredths to as much as a tenth or two of an inch. So definitely keeping an active pattern going as we go through the rest of the month of March. Make sure if you do like today's weather video to make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Again, we're almost to 500 subscribers on this channel, and I would love to hit that later on today. Make sure to press the like button down below, the thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Monday out there.